Welcome back, everyone, and thank you very much for staying with us on the program. Political tremors hit Osun APC as Senator Iyiola Omisore, one of the state's most recognizable political heavyweights, is barred from contesting the party's governorship primaries. The party says this disqualification followed its internal screening procedures. Senator Omisore says the process was anything but transparent, insisting the party has exceeded the limits set by the Electoral Act on who can be screened out and why. What exactly happened inside the APC? Were the rules followed, and does this disqualification deepen existing fractures within the party's structure? Senator Iyiola Omisore joins me on the program tonight to respond. Thank you so much for joining me on the program, Senator.
Thank you. Good evening.
You're welcome to Politics Tonight.
Thank you.
Former Deputy Governor of the state, two-term Senator, and more recently National Secretary of the All Progressives Congress. But the same party has barred you from contesting for the governorship primary. How embarrassed are you?
Well, the disqualification of my candidature and several others by the party, like I said, was a really good joke. It's a political rascality taken too far, because the Electoral Act, in its tenets, there's a limit to what party can do in terms of disqualification of candidates. Only court can disqualify candidates. So, and I believe that last night, some of the aspirants met with the president and invited the party chairman and said to go and work on it and rectify disqualification, because they show their displeasure. There's an embarrassment to them. So outsiders who doesn't know that it's internal politicking.
Who are the outsiders, Senator?
I mean, people who are not politicians, who are not used to it. When you see you are disqualified. Some of my friends were calling me, my nieces, my friends, my wife, my children. So there's a need for us to set the record straight.
You think the national leadership of your party is compromised?
Well, at that point, yeah, they were. And yesterday, when they met the president, all the aspirants that met the president complained the same thing. Mr. President now invited the national chairman to look at it and say that she go and work on it and reverse the disqualification.
Why were you not at that meeting?
Well, that's a good question. Sometimes ago, about 4 weeks ago, I met with Mr. President. He invited me to come and see him on the issue of Osun State gubernatorial elections. We had a very lengthy discussion, and I was there to let him know what's happening in the state. Because the only source of information for Mr. President from Osun State is the Minister of Blue Marine, Mr. Governor Oyetola. And all we are told the President is things that he believes in and align with his thoughts. So I told Mr. President, I came to see you to let you know what's happening in Osun State. This is the position of the leadership. This is what is happening in that state. And whatever you want to do as a president, we are ready to abide with it. But we must all know where we are going. So at that point in time, I ended Mr. President that he said I should ask our leader, Chief Bishop Akande, to come and see him. So maybe after that, we now consult. But basically, I realized in my conversation with the president that the minister has said so many things that are not correct to the president.
About you?
Not about me, about the politics of Osun State. Osun State, we have leadership, we have elders council, but appropriated everything to himself and working towards the goal.
What does it stand to gain?
Well, like I said sometimes ago, about 2 days ago, that after we lost election 2022, we set up a panel headed by former Minister of Health to look at the pitfalls that can avoid us failing in future. They sat, they met, and they came with recommendations that one, the cause of that, the main cause of that election loss was the Governor Oyetola, and basically he was operating within some few of his commissioners who aided the loss. They now warned in that report that look, these people have aided the report, tried to let us stay back, let other people came, but he insisted on promoting these people, and one of them he was sponsoring openly as the governor candidate for the party.
Who is that?
Mr. Oyebamiji was commissioner for finance. So he was Oyebamiji, yes. He was sponsoring him openly without any request, any apology. So I now to Mr. President, look, if you want to have a primary, let everybody feel free. Even when you want to end up in the consensus, push you feel free towards the end of it. Like yesterday now, Mr. President called the other aspirants. I told them he has met with me, and this is what I said. And now that the president is the leader of the party, he has made a pronouncement what he wanted to do. Then everybody will abide what he has said. But it behoves on us as leader of that party to let him know the build-up of the stories, to know why we failed in 2018, to know why we almost failed in 2018, and why you failed in 2022, to avoid the pitfalls of 2026.
But were you ever promised the ticket of your party?
Nobody will promise ticket of the party. No, I mean, like you just said now, if I'm promised ticket of the party, that means there won't be any primaries. That means other people will be sidelined. In political setup, all aspirants will show interest. Along the line, you walk towards the primary. Along the line, you can be the consensus around the candidates. Then the president might not say who runs the ticket of the party.
We had this conversation in September, and I remember I was drawing your attention to why some supporters of the APC wanted you to become the consensus candidate. They said you're more popular. They said you sacrificed so hard for the party, and now it's your turn to reap the reward of those sacrifices. But you've called the screening process a joke, but the committee says you were disqualified over alleged irregularities in your nomination document. I mean, many Nigerians expected you to know better.
Well, like I said, what you said that 150 nominators on my form were not party members, whereas we bought 1,000 forms with those names. And if you are not a party member, they won't sell forms to you. We took out of those names for the nominators. So that was why I said it's a political rascality taken too far. But like I said now, the president has intervened that must be reversed. So in that case, we are at the point that if that is done, everybody will be happy with themselves. And he has gone further to assure that there will be a consensus being around whether you buy Miji. As the leader of the party, we have no choice. But the point is that towards that build up, a leader must be let to know the operation was in the state. Everything in the state, we have to let him know where our pitfalls, what made us to fail in 2018, in 2022, so that in 2026 we won't have the same problem. So that was why I met and I explained everything to him, and I let him know that look, as the president, you have a financing. But there were some people like me to let you know that these are the issues on the state.
So what was the outcome of that meeting with Mr. President? Because your absence at that meeting yesterday, someone already insinuating that you're upset with Mr. President.
No. Yesterday's meeting was coordinated by Mr. Governor Oyetola. So he took them to the meeting. Exactly. Okay. He's aware that I met the president already, and I've told the president my own position. Right. So that is it. So
when you say there is a limit to what a party can do in disqualifying a candidate, what exactly are those limits in your understanding?
Well, in the Electoral Act, section 8.31 says that parties' disqualification or nomination of candidature is limited to only the party level. That when it comes to approval of candidature, it has to go to a court. And you know, those rascality is always peculiar in party structures. When I was national secretary, the first attempt was the national, when we want to have presidential elections, there were some rumors that we must discover candidates. I said, look, this is not, aspirants that time. So you are going to run for a Electoral Act, and you are going to let Nigeria not even see the president of the party. So I insisted that everybody must be cleared. To a point that I have to appoint provost of the Corruption Academy to monitor the process, but it was becoming difficult for me to control. But eventually, everybody was clear, we went for primaries. So these are things that is known. And now that it's already in public space, and the chairman has been asked to do something about it, I believe it's a mistake everybody has realized, and that must be a case of the...
So while we wait for that, Senator, do you think you've been used and dumped again by the party when it mattered the most to you?
Well, not, one, like I said, the former Governor Oyetola, he almost lost the election in 2018. I came to his rescue. He won the election. In 2022, he lost the election again. And at that point in time, instead of me to own up to that loss, he started shifting blames. And when the report came out from the Professor Odiwade's report, we realized that election has been lost, bid up to the party. Because initially when we met before the main election, the voters in Osun State is around 1.7 million voters as at last 2022. And myself, I was with Governor Ganduje, former Governor Ganduje, Fayemi, and Sonolu. I said, Mr. Governor, when voters are 1.7, this election is going to be very keen. Let us target 1 million voters as our projection. That was what he ended up to. But because of his caucus, he has a caucus that he works with, those people now towards election, they now plan for 442,000 votes. They now give local government projections. They say they are doing digitalization. So like my local government now, we have about almost about 100,000 votes. They said they want 27,000 from that place. So which we did. So after he now lost election, he started blaming that people from Ife didn't vote for him as such. Okay. I said, look, we couldn't go about what he projected. And he projected 400 and some thousand votes. You had almost 40,000 votes too. So the mistake was made originally by him. So that is why I said he's not qualified to impose the candidate on us again. And I told Mr. President, look, this is the issue. And if we want to talk about zoning, if we want to zone to a particular zone, all of us will look at that zone, we look where we can get votes. Because elections are about voting, is about voting, not friendship or anything about it. So look, let us go this way. We all sit down, we all agree that this is where we're going. So, but somebody appropriating the whole of Osun State to himself as an emperor becomes a problem.
So since that post-mortem of the election, that relationship has been fractured between yourself and former Governor Oyetola?
No, not really, because when Governor Adeleke wanted to come to APC, he was always calling me that this is a problem that we have to resist. And I went to Channel to resist that thing, not knowing that he has his own plan to upscale me. I don't mind. It's one of those things in politics.
I mean, from what you just said, Senator, you made a lot of sacrifices for the emergence of former Governor Oyetola. Would you still make the same sacrifices for the party?
Well, I'm a party man. But you know, like I said, that last election, when I saw Mr. President, look, after we lost 2022, when I saw Mr. President, he now said, Iyiola, you lost Osun State. I said, well, he said, so I felt so bad. So I reminded him when I met him that, look, this, for us not to lose, these are my own views. So, and in spite of this one, you have a final say, which he has done. So the point now is that if those things are not done, well, we are going to struggle.
So the state leadership of the party, the national leadership of the party have not done anything to reconcile with heavyweights.
No, I think, what's happening now is that after this meeting they held yesterday.
Because this is not good for the states.
I know it's not good for the states, but this issue is coming up maybe along the line as we are progressing and things are being done properly.
I mean, he doesn't want you to become the next governor.
Does he? When he has the candidate, he's promoting, and so that's his own choice.
All right.
So the choice of like you said, the people's choice is this way. His own choice is this way. Okay. So whatever I want to, that's what I'm saying. But you know, I normally when there's a leader, whether it's the president, a leader must always be told the truth. But Mr. President will take a decision based on facts before him. If you mislead your leader, there'll be a problem at it. So that was why I told Mr. President, these are the issues on ground. But he still has the final say. And whatever he dictated is what I'm going to end up with. But he would have had those on that terms, what happened.
All right. So I asked if you felt used and dumped by the party again, because I remember your supporters believe you've invested so much in the party. They say you were instrumental to how former Governor Oyetola became governor, which you have highlighted tonight. And I remembered that you stepped down for Chief Bisi Akwande in 1998. You went on to funding the party, and that move has made it very hard for you to become governor again. A very, very personal ambition to you. Do you regret that move?
I don't regret any move because God's time is always the best. And as a party,
is this God's time?
Well, God's time is always the best. When God's time comes, nobody can stop it.